Humidor shop talk. Humidor shop talk. Get ready. Humidor shop talk. Get ready. Humidor shop talk. Sports. Humidor shop talk. Cigars. Humidor shop talk. Get ready. Humidor shop talk. Get ready. Humidor shop talk.
Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy, Mr. SmokeFella. We back with Humidor Sports and Cigars, man. As we do every Saturday, giving you shits and giggles the way we do it in the cigar shops, man. Man, we giving you unedited, raw, uncut sports news. Shit, I'm just gonna jump my guys in. We got our man, our resident DJ, DY Nemesis. Explain yourself.
First off, top of the morning to everybody. Hopefully everybody having a great Saturday. Starting off Saturday, got a chance to enjoy some of this decent weather before the big chill comes in the next couple of days. My name, if anybody, yep, there he is right there, Prince Lotor. Do you recognize him now?
I'm just trying to think which cartoon that was. The face was this? No, not Voltron.
Yep, it was Voltron.
It was Voltron. Okay, all right. I ain't lost my old school card yet.
There it is. My guy.
Yeah, he was a complete asshole.
Yeah, he was. He's worse than his old man. King Zarkon.
Right. Damn, DY, bro, you go back, way back every week, bro.
I don't just dig in the crates on them records, brother.
Speaking of that, I heard you almost broke some hips last night.
I done had a pretty good streak, man. The last 3 albums I done had done been pretty spectacular. So I gotta capitalize on this momentum.
Hey, as Dickie V would say, you a PT player.
There it is.
Hey, we got our man, our fellow SmokeFella brother. He always comes through on us when we need him. Even when we don't need him, he's still gonna be there and come through. Our man, TB, aka Mr. Godabody.
The rumor. That's the rumor. Hello, good people. First of all, DY, next time you do a cartoon character, do Barney Rubble, because you more resemble him. It's your boy TB, aka Mr. Godabody, aka Hey Damn Girl, he fine. Let's get it.
Come on, man. Hey, our boy Luck is getting himself together, man. He'll be on in a minute. So we was talking backstage, so we're gonna give it a quick shout out. I'm not a Cubs fan, I'm a Sox fan, but I love my city, and I gotta tell you, that new Cubs jersey that they unveiled, that boy is fire. I may have to go ahead and cop one because I got the perfect mics to go with it, DY.
We appreciate if you don't. We don't need no bandwagon.
I know it won't be a bandwagon. It'll be a fit check.
If I see that shirt, I'm ripping it off.
That's a fit check and a fit check only.
Well, you gonna see it. I promise you that. Like Ben said, that you get a good pair of mics, nice pair of shorts, you good.
Yeah, that it's tough.
Calling you handsome.
Yeah, motherfuckers gonna wear that out this summer. I can already tell.
Oh yeah, that bad boy nice.
Yeah, I can see that a hot rotation.
Yeah, they on the radio. The rumor is that the Cubs stole the Cincinnati Reds C.
Yeah,
I don't see that, but
I see it now. Don't get it wrong.
Nah, Is that a button up?
That's
Yep.
the jersey.
That's the actual jersey button up. Now, if you saw me, it would just be the jersey. You wouldn't see me with no hat. No, you're not gonna see the whole shebang. That's not gonna happen.
Well,
Why
the good thing is you can get your favorite team in any color now, and with the hat. So, like, you could probably do a socks one like that, or
Yuck.
well, I mean, I don't know. Get you a Tennessee Titans hat
Wow.
or a red hat. It'll match.
You can't wear a socks hat with that.
No, that's like
It's nice.
It'll just say C.
you real on some disrespectful. Hey, on that note, our man Luck is he ready? So we'll bring him in.
Yo, what up?
Yeah, broke into some spot sitting in their humidor.
I'm at Eduardo Limon, shameless plug, 3721 South Trail Road.
Right. Yeah, right, house.
Right.
Just in there tasting all the cigars, huh?
I'm squatting today. I'm squatting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you got squatters' rights.
Right. I got squatters rights. Damn right.
Hey, man.
That Cubs jersey is hard, though. That motherfucker.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's tough.
You ain't going to catch me in it, but it's cold.
Well,
It's about time because it took them long enough. It's like that, like your friend, the last friend in the group, to turn 21, and they want to start telling you. They want to start telling you how great all the bars are and everything, and all the clubs. Like, man, we've been done that. They had tight uniforms. You know what I'm saying? We won a world championship already. That's new.
They had the Wrigleyville jersey though.
That was horrible. That was god awful.
But y'all copied off of it, and when it got the South Side though,
no, our South Side was tight.
Nah,
the South
I
Side
ain't like that South Side.
South side was tough.
I
Stop.
the South Side
I
one.
ain't like that.
right.
Then the
Like
CHI and the hat too, on the CHI with the hat. Come on, man.
with the lines, man, them look like prison uniforms.
No, it reminded me of the baseball fury for the Warriors.
Yeah, it do.
It's like a South Side softball team.
and that team too, and on the Warriors, they only won 5 games too, so they a lot in common.
Hey, Sean, you showing your age with that reference.
The Warrior reference.
Yeah.
All right,
Hey,
Bob.
maybe if they would have like wore white pants with it, the all black though, then I wasn't feeling it. Like it was,
I'm telling you, it reminded me of a softball league. It was the South Side, man. 16-inch softball league. That's what it was.
Damn.
All right, boppers. The baseball fury dropped the ball.
oh, shit.
Fucking classic.
Just to remind you I'm old as hell. Just to remind you I'm old as hell.
Hey, she had the perfect lips.
The girl.
Yeah, on the radio, because that's all they kept showing. It's like, damn, okay. But as my boy that ain't here, that's on suspension, that's neither here nor there. Mr. Kevin Loud.
Hey, I left at 1 last night, and he was still drinking. They was doing Mad Dog, so.
What he suspended for PhDs, Mad Dog 2020?
No.
Tested positive for Mad Dog or what?
Having too many birthday celebrations.
Right.
Every year. They finally caught up to him. Jay Greers, what's up, man?
Motherfucker left on a gurney yesterday.
Did he? He was gone?
He wasn't like normal.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Right.
He wasn't spilling
That's why
drinks.
I was surprised when he said he wasn't going to be on. I was shocked.
He wasn't Indianapolis, Kevin?
No, he wasn't nowhere near that.
Ooh.
He wasn't nowhere near that.
And I
was shocked when he said he wasn't going to be on. I'm like,
well, he still might have had some bottles left at home, and he went home and finished them off.
Kept the party going.
Yeah.
Right.
Or use him to pay off his prostitute.
Come on, man. He ain't here to defend himself.
Hey.
Hey, DY, it was a good one, though. That was definitely
Yeah, it was.
You got him down.
It was a good one. Monday night, Notre Dame, Ohio State. Ohio State is favored by 8.5. What's your thoughts on the TB? You was very real vocal in the backstage.
Yeah, and again, this is my opinion. So don't be mad at the SmokeFellas. Number one, I don't feel Notre Dame shouldn't even been in the playoffs with that weak schedule, that terrible loss to Northern. But that's neither here nor there, as Kevin would say. They made it. Then they gave them the easiest path to get to the championship, playing Indiana, in Indiana, where they from. Then they ran into a Georgia team that was, most players were hurt, the quarterback, or they didn't play. Penn State, I'll give them that victory, even though they should have lost. I picked Ohio State by 2 touchdowns or more. It's going to be another, what was that, TCU a couple years ago? When they played Alabama, or what was that?
They blew them out, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be something like that. When they shouldn't have been in it.
Jay Greer's got Notre Dame by 3.
I mean, he's entitled to his opinion, even though it's wrong.
BY, what's your thoughts on this college matchup for the chip?
I get the line, but I think a lot of teams underestimate how good Notre Dame defense is playing right now. And I'm not necessarily picking Notre Dame just yet, but at the end of the day, defense does win championships. That defense has stepped their game up, especially these last 2 games. And even the last game when they faced some adversity, couldn't score no points in the first half, was down for a period, and then came back. I think the resolve of this team has kind of made me feel like they're a lot better than what they were at the beginning of the year. So I expect a good game, nevertheless. But I still got to think about who I think may come out on top.
Somebody pop tops ready.
And who is that, DY?
Who is what?
You said you got to think about who's going to come out on top.
I haven't made a decision on who I'm going to pick to win that game.
Real quick, Damani, before you go, no, that defense you speak of, DY, they play man to man. That's what they known for. Ohio State ain't the team to play man to man against. With Smith and them other receivers out there, they gonna get dogged. They ain't played nobody like this. And man to man against Ohio State, nah.
Well,
okay, carry on, Damani.
Lefty, you the resident fan on the show, so the floor is yours.
Well, I disagree that they shouldn't have been there. They got there and they earned their way to the championship game. They don't set the schedule.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
I'm talking about the playoffs. I'm talking they don't set the path.
But that weak schedule, they did make that.
I give you that, but I mean, ain't like Ohio State had a barn burner schedule either.
They in the Big Ten.
And the Big Ten wasn't, I mean, pretty top heavy, but there's a lot of trash in the Big Ten too. And that was a bad Michigan loss. Come on, dog.
Yeah, it was. But it wasn't worse than that Northern loss.
Well, yeah, true.
Well,
for it to be a rivalry, and yeah, like it was. I mean, look, I'm a Notre Dame fan. Everybody know that. I am worried about this one though. Ohio State looks good, and TB made a great point about playing man to man against them receivers at Ohio State, unless Marcus Freeman coming up with some type of package that they have to win up front. The front 4 have to get pressure on the quarterback,
right?
Because if they can't get no pressure on them, man, I see him sitting back there, just eating Notre Dame alive.
Yeah. And
honestly, it's Notre Dame's offense is not a high-powered offense. Their only chance is for it to be a slugfest. Like some people putting up scores some 23-20, 17-14 type. That's their only chance. And Ohio State got underrated defense too. They're pretty underrated. And Notre Dame can run the ball, but I just got a feeling if Ohio State go up early, it's going to be hard for Notre Dame to keep up. But I'm pulling for Notre Dame, but I ain't
And Lefty, they only played one top 10 team all year.
Oh, Notre Dame?
Yeah, that was it. I think Ben said earlier. Indiana was number 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything else was 24, 25, like that.
But Penn State was the top team. They played them
They didn't. Well, in the playoffs.
in the playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah, but my argument on my was they shouldn't have been there because they didn't play nobody. It was like back in the old Big 8 when Nebraska and Oklahoma only played each other.
Well, until they force them into a conference.
Well, that ain't gonna happen.
What it's gonna be.
That won't happen.
You can forget that.
Yeah.
You can forget that.
As long as they can set their own schedule, and they got these contracts to play these schools, for a couple of years. So,
but what's crazy, Notre Dame always played a top schedule. But
yeah, but they had those contracts with like Michigan State, all those. Years where they were playing them, yeah. But all those schools then fell off. I mean, USC wasn't. We thought that was going to be a tough matchup. USC wasn't that good, So,
what's the money? Because I heard stories that Notre Dame getting this whopping figure, and Ohio State not
for the championship game.
Well, I think it's $14 million. I might be wrong, and that's it for all. That was for all the schools. But when you're in a conference, you got to split that money with every school. So what they saying is Notre Dame gets to keep all that money, which helps with NIL money to get more recruits and better.
I mean, why can't they force them into a damn conference? The basketball team is in a conference.
Everything
by choice.
Right, but I mean, all the other programs into what?
You force the basketball team and the other teams into a conference.
I'm saying all the other sports in the ACC, right?
Right.
ACC. Mm-hmm. And like, I know they don't want to split it, but at some point, it's like you said, even as a Notre Dame fan, I will say it's not fair that they kind of get to set their own schedule, and like they're going to probably be in the playoffs every year. You know what I mean? Just because of that.
Now that they got 12 teams, yeah.
Yeah, like they're gonna have a shot every year, but I don't know.
See, the reason you can't force them is you can't force someone to get in a conference. But
right.
The reason Notre Dame's not getting it is because with Jay Grizz, I was just about to say it. They got a big ass contract with NBC.
Yeah.
TB, you talked about splitting up the money in the conference. And Catholics ain't trying to split up that money.
Oh,
Notre Dame is not trying to split up that money. They got the TV deal, and that's it. And the only reason that they got football, as you guys know, you're a big Notre Dame fan, Luck. Football runs it over there. All right, they fund a whole bunch of other stuff, which is why they threw everyone else in the conference, because now all the other teams get a split of that conference money. The basketball, baseball, hockey, track, all the other stuff. They're in the ACC. They get a breakup of that in those teams. But football, we're keeping all that money ourselves. So they got that huge contract with NBC, and yeah.
But and I get it, but it does give an unfair advantage, like you say, TB. They don't have to split that money, so that can go to NIL. You know what I mean? That's something that they could, So I don't know.
And how many teams is in the Big Ten? What, 15 now?
Well, here's the 18. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Notre Dame has NBC pays them $50 million a year.
God damn.
Okay. Now,
hello, Patrick.
The only thing the deal that Kevin Warren worked out with the Big Ten, all those teams are going to get about $100 million a year. But that might be for all sports. That might be for all sports. For football, yeah.
Okay.
So, is it possible that Notre Dame says, "Hey, let me get in the Big Ten, because if they get $100 million, $100 million is a lot more than $50 million. But how much is the football program going to want?"
Right.
Yeah. Well, they wouldn't go to the Big Ten. They'll most likely go to the ACC, where they can dominate. Well, only other team there is Clemson.
Well, yeah, and everybody ran up out of the ACC. I mean,
and you can be guaranteed to be in that playoffs every year.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people. I've read some complaints about how the playoff was set and this, that, and other. I didn't have a problem with the playoffs, man. I didn't have a problem with the format.
Well, that was my next question to y'all guys.
I didn't have an issue with it, man. Like, I didn't have no problem with it at all.
Here's a quick thing though. It's kind of weird. I'm looking up. It says, according to industry sources, starting in 26, Notre Dame is expected to get more than $12 million from college football playoff revenue distribution. which is in the same ballpark as ACC schools, which is more than $13 million annually, and Big 12 schools, which is $12 million annually. So it might not be that far off to say think about them joining the Big Ten, because I'm telling you, why do you think USC, all them West Coast schools came to the Big Ten? Because of that deal, $100 million. They're getting about $100 million, and we just talked about it. The priest over there, like, we want all that money. So
it definitely makes sense now, because I sure wondered why those West Coast schools want to come play in the Big Ten. You know what I mean?
You notice they only took the top 3 though. They took USC, Washington, and Oregon.
Yep.
UCLA too.
Or UCLA.
Oh, and UCLA.
Yeah.
All right. Now UCLA brings not much to football. Sometimes they do, but that USC, Washington, and Oregon, that's major money with football.
Yeah.
Major money.
My next question to you guys: did this first year of a 12-round playoff meet your expectations? DY.
Yeah, I definitely think it met. They're gonna have to fix the way the seeding goes. You know, some of those lower tier teams, you know, I think they ranked them a little bit too high in the playoff seedings because of how they finish in the conference. But it's been very, very entertaining, and I think that's the biggest value you could take away from the playoff format. You increase how. Back in the day, you realize we had a whole month off of college football from the last conference game in December into the national championship game. And those teams would essentially wait a month to play for the national championship. This is more intriguing, more exciting. They just got to fix the seed.
TB.
I agree with DY on fixing the seeding, because they need to get away from these conference winners automatically getting bids. Like Boise is just flat out. Indiana was flat out outmatched. You can just see the difference in programs. They just outmatched, and it's not good entertainment. Also believe since Oregon was the number 1 team in the nation, they should have had a much easier path than running up on Ohio State.
Patrick.
I think it's unanimous when you think about what DY and TV was saying. The seed needs to change, man. A lot of those games we was looking at, we wasn't looking to see some of these teams match up until the later part of the rounds, and some of them was out early. So I think it's the seeding.
Look.
Yeah, I agree. You know, the seeding probably does. I'm okay with the conference winners, because those underdog stories are great. You know what I mean? That's like, and you know how it is in the NCAA and basketball tournament. Those Cinderella teams make the tournament. You know what I mean? They great. I mean, yeah, you're gonna always kind of get your top dogs, but those Cinderellas, and that's gonna get them a chance to somewhat not even the playing field on recruiting, but at least gives them a recruiting tool where they can kind of go out to some of the bigger names, or get some of those guys out the transfer portal. I think the best part about it was you got to see matchups you don't really get to see, like to get to see Notre Dame and Georgia, and Notre Dame, Penn State, Texas, and Ohio State. Those matchups we don't get to see a lot. So I'm cool with it. I'm with y'all on the seeding thing. They probably need to maybe not give the conference winners a bye. You know what I mean? Maybe don't do that. I think you should be rewarded for winning your conference, though. At least get a shot. But like you say, see them where they should be, and don't give them a bye, and then let it go from there. Because if they did it like that, then Oregon probably runs up on Boise and schools like that, over the path they ended up having to take.
Well, also with that, Damani, you're absolutely right. We got to see games. I remember being on the show, and we were all looking before the season started, looking forward to these matchups that we normally wouldn't see.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem when you put these conference winners in, the Big Ten and the SEC is so big and heavy with good teams that a lot of those teams get pushed out.
Yeah.
Yeah. They get pushed out, like the Alabamas or the Tennessees. that were had good seasons for the Indianas because it's the feel good story.
But
But we know
out there.
Indiana's no match for nobody in
I
football.
got to throw this out there. We don't when we talking about the NCAA tournament. Nobody says nothing when you got number 1 against number, what is it, 16?
Yeah.
Nobody say a damn thing. So,
Football's not basketball.
I get it, but I didn't have a problem with the seedings because what if I'm just going with a what if? What if one of those, like if Oregon plays against the Boise and Boise knocks them off? Now everybody gonna be like, oh, everybody crazy and all of that.
Just like basketball, Cinderella upset.
Those Cinderella stories, yeah. At least give them a shot. But if they were seated how they should have been, with Boise and them kind of being at the bottom, then it would have been a different matchup. But I think Indiana just proved what I said earlier. The Big Ten was just top heavy.
Right. But
the Big Ten was just top heavy. They, like you said, they didn't look like they should have been there at all.
No.
They weren't in the same league.
And then football is not basketball. You can get in basketball, you can get one guy, he can get hot, so hot, he can carry you to the national championship game. Yeah. You might lose, but that one guy can get so hot. It ain't like that in football. You need 4 or 5 people to be hot. In basketball, you can get one Michael Jordan and he just take you all the way. A no-name player. And he done put his name in a draft and everything off that one.
Steph Curry.
I was just going to say, I lost Steph from Davidson.
Steph Curry.
Nobody thought Syracuse was going to run the tables in the NC tournament, and Melo just went bananas.
One player, just go bananas.
Hey, that's how we ended up with Tyrus Thomas in that draft.
Yeah.
He had a good tournament.
Which was
the Bulls traded LaMarcus
the worst game of the Bulls' life.
Yeah. Tyrus Thomas and
they traded LaMarcus Aldridge to get Tyrus Thomas.
Right.
And Big Baby Davis. They was at LSU and took them all the way to the national championship game.
Here's my thing when it comes to the seeding. If you go back and look the way this year was set up, Clemson shouldn't have been there. They should have just been okay with winning their conference championship game, and that should have been it. There's no way that they should have been in that tournament. You kick out a team like Miami, who's probably a little bit more deserving throughout the year, and you find yourself in a situation where you got better teams. The Alabama team, for instance. I think if you'd have put, I'm not saying Alabama would have won, but I think you put them in one of those spots.
Oh yeah.
Versus an Arizona State or Clemson.
I agree.
You would have had Ole Miss. You would have had a more entertaining lead into the tournament. Even though it was great to have these games, only about 3 or 4 of them have really been good, if that many. And the majority of those came probably the last time they played. So at the end of the day, the NCAA got to kind of reevaluate all of this.
So let me ask you this: do they get rid of the conference championship games, and whoever the regular season winner is, that's who go to the playoff?
No. You keep the conference championship, but the conference championship cannot dictate you getting in.
So if you in second place in the regular season, but you won your conference championship, you saying that shouldn't be an automatic bid? There should still be. I don't know. I
just say that it should go off how the teams are ranked. Yeah. However y'all rank these teams,
I think what you want to avoid though, like a all Big Ten, all SEC, because it'll be like 9 or 10 of them in there every time.
You can't help it. You got to do it because that's what they messed up at, letting all these teams go to 2 conferences.
These super conferences, yeah. Now they got these super
so that's where the biggest mistake came from. All right, when the Pac-10 ended.
I tell you
took
what,
all them other teams.
If you
so you plan on being on time. Okay.
Tighten up their schedules and say, hey, power conference schools, you got to play at least 3 other power schools outside of your conference at the beginning of the year. Put some type of stipulations, because some of these cupcake ass games that they be winning, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, but that's a payday for them schools, though.
It is a payday for them schools. I get it.
That's a payday. Like Northern, that was a payday. Playing Notre Dame. That's a payday.
Why is Rutgers in the Big Ten?
I have no idea. That's a great question.
What I mean,
why?
Right.
They ain't did shit since they've been in there.
Question is how they even get in the Big Ten.
And they can send Maryland back to the ACC.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Maryland ain't even good in basketball no more.
Honestly, until you said it, I forgot they was even in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
I forgot about that, but damn. Hey, next question I got for y'all, man, moving forward. Is Deion to the Cowboys serious? Luck.
Where there's smoke, there's fire. That's all I'm gonna say. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
You've been saying that.
Hey, look, man, this stuff just don't leak out. And Jerry and Deion's relationship. And after Deion's sons, I get it. He's publicly speaking his love for Colorado football and all that. But
he got to do that for the recruits.
Exactly. But he really don't have no ties to them like that. Like I actually thought he would have been up for the Florida State job, seeing that he's alumni. But I think it's real, man. Deion's gonna wanna make the jump to the NFL, and an opportunity to coach the Cowboys. A fame. I wanted to call him a fame whore. I'm not gonna diss him, but he loves the spotlight. And what bigger spotlight would it be? Deion Sanders, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. He loved the lights, man. That's prime time. That's it. So I can see it happening. I can see it happening.
And you can't be mad at him because if that's his aspirations, he was coaching his son when he was in Biddy, then high school, then he got him in college, so as he has progressed through his college coaching career, every coach, I'm not gonna say every coach, but that's the end game, getting into the league, especially if you played in the league. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
P-Funk, what you got?
I'm with the money. I believe it is a thing. I think they're just trying to figure out how to do it between him and Jerry Jones, man. That's a lot of distractions that's gonna be in that locker room, bro. That's a lot of distractions. Ooh. And then to get it, like I say, you want a championship with these guys to get to play with America's team. And be in that prime time light again.
Yeah, hit him with the air quote.
Yeah, being that prime time, I think it's some traction to it. How much I don't know.
DY.
No, I ain't buying it at all.
You said no.
It was just something. You talk about the attention whore. The real attention whore is Jerry Jones, and he'll do anything through controversy, through whatever means necessary to bring some attention his way towards his team.
He did the draft from his boat with the hot blonde.
Exactly. to have people talking about the Cowboys because nobody was even at the point where they fired McCarthy. Like this dude literally had not had any head coaching candidates in until this weekend. Didn't come to terms, but
they only interviewed Kellen Moore, right?
They do Kellen Moore today. They got Salah and one other person going in the next week.
Oh, okay.
So you fired me, and now you want me to come back as the head coach. Make it make sense to me.
Kellen Moore.
Oh, Kellen Moore, yeah. Well, that was him and McCarthy. That's just a head bump. McCarthy wanted to call his plays. You know what I'm saying? He didn't.
Well, I mean, I think he understands how good a coordinator Kellen Moore is. Him being a head coach, I don't know about that just yet. But at the end of the day, I think Deion is locked in the way he at right now. He literally in the best situation he could be in. He actually got some good players coming into this team. Yeah. I think he feels that it not saying it'll be easier, but he has a greater chance of winning or at least competing for a national championship than he does to come into the NFL and try to resurrect or build up some this Cowboys team.
Yeah. TB.
I agree with you all for the most part. I think if it happens, Dallas is going to have to move up in the draft to get his son.
Got to trade Dak.
That they can do that, or just take that dead hit.
Yeah.
He left it.
Right. Get free up that money. Plus, you reset the clock on your quarterback with the free money. You can pay Parsons because you got to pay Parsons now.
Yeah.
So
you got to pay a few of them cats.
Yeah, they got a lot of cats coming out the books.
So that's the only way I see it happening. You get my son, move up where I can get my son.
Well, that's why the Raiders thing was. People were really sniffing around that because the Raiders are in position to get them.
Right.
The Raiders are in a good spot to get them. Anywhere Deion go, it's going to be a circus.
Well, since you brought up the Raiders,
you know what I'm saying?
Since you brought up the Raiders, TB12 out there throwing Bill's name out there. Bill has not signed his contract at UNC. Is that some real traction, Luck?
Nah, I can't see it. I don't know.
You just said where there's smoke.
Where there's smoke, there's fire. But it seemed like anything with Tom Brady, they're going to try to attach Belichick to it somehow, some way. I don't think they ended on the best of terms. Belichick wanted to move on for Brady for Garoppolo. A couple of years before, Kraft had to step in on that. So I don't know if they're as tight as everybody thinks.
That was a mistake that Kraft stopped.
I'm just saying, but I don't know if they're as tight as everybody think, man. Because Bill kind of forced Brady's hand with getting him out of New England, getting out of that. So I don't think they that close. So I think it's just I think people just putting two and two together because Belichick hasn't signed the contract and Brady's out involved in his name being thrown around in the Raiders coaching search.
TB.
Let me ask. Okay, go ahead, TB.
Oh, go ahead, DY. Go ahead. You got your point.
Go ahead, DY.
My question is this. So Tom Brady's not the GM, right? They currently don't have a GM, but they are looking for a head coach. Because you haven't heard about any GMs interviewing with them at this point yet, have you?
Not one.
So explain to me how all of this works. And if TB is involved, wouldn't that be tampering?
Yeah.
100%. That's what everybody has.
Yes. Now, first of all, I don't believe that Belichick will come there. Ben Johnson is coaching this weekend tonight, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Who's calling that game?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't easy. It ain't all you gotta do is say, "Hey, man, I'm gonna be happy to be in the elevator at 1:00. You just happen to be on there too. We gonna stop it and talk. All right. You name your price, and if you remember, what Ben Johnson want.
They in a service elevator at the same time.
He want that front office.
He want to, yeah.
Ben Johnson want to name his GM too.
Yep.
As soon as Tom Brady as soon as they do the close up on Ben Johnson and Tom Brady said, I think he's one of the best offensive coordinators and soon to be head coaches in this league, I'm calling Roger Goodell.
It don't matter. You ain't gonna be able to prove nothing. We already know he's dirty.
Hey, you guys do realize, and this is what a lot of people don't realize. Tom Brady there's special rules for everybody else, and then Tom Brady.
Yeah.
There's special rules for special people.
Yeah.
Tom's one of them peoples. Okay, the special rule because we talked about it where how could he continue to do the game because you meet with the players, you meet with the coaches, leading up to the game, and he has access to that. He can't have access to that. And there was an article in the paper yesterday. Tom Brady said he doubled down and said, I'm still going to live out my 10-year, $375 million contract. A hell of a lot more than he made when he was a player with Fox. 10 years, right. $375 million.
Well, he ain't
not that good.
No, he's not. Olsen is way better. Oh, Greg Olsen is way better.
I hold on. I need y'all to stop that. This is his first year in the booth. And each one of those guys y'all just made in the first year of the booth, they were not that great. Everybody said that.
Greg Olsen was much better.
I ain't saying he's horrible.
Hey,
Romo was good. Romo was good.
And Tony, I was just going to say Romo was way better, buddy.
Yeah. Romo called the plays out before the play happened.
Right.
He had to scale it back.
Yeah, they're like, okay, they're reading the safety. He gets over the slant. Watch the slant.
They were decent. So get a man a break. I know
we ain't giving no break, man.
Right.
I love Tom Brady. Dude, Tom Brady's got the best man's life, dude. He's got a baby with a movie star, and he was married to a supermodel, and now he's divorced. Now he can do whatever he wants with his millions and millions of hundreds of millions of dollars.
From years to come.
Well, Lefty, you always think he got the perfect life.
He does have a perfect life. He does.
And
you know what?
He's one of the special people, man.
I know he don't have a lot of personality though.
Right.
He don't.
Yes.
He don't,
correct.
Man. He's just so dry to me. You know,
And
even when he crack a joke, like his cheeks don't move when he smiles. It's like
that's
weird.
That's Botox.
He's like a mannequin.
Yeah,
weird.
I will give you that, man.
Everything is intact on him. The suit, the hair. He ain't supposed to have no hair.
Listen,
he got no crow's feet, nothing.
Right.
When you smile, you think his face is gonna crack.
No.
Well, man, I'm like, what the hell?
He ain't using what's that shit as a kid? We Aquaphor or that Vaseline on our face like our mom used to do us.
When you got the cold.
Yeah.
You lathering up, shining like a mug.
Right.
Smelling good.
Hey.
No, I think, but the fact that
with
you know what,
$50,000 in cash in his pocket.
And I think that's what's keeping them in the Ben Johnson hunt, is because that's really the best thing that the Raiders can offer is that he can bring his GM.
That's why they ain't hired one.
But that roster definitely.
But who's the quarterback? Who's the quarterback though? You want to be Ben Johnson, and listen, you're Ben Johnson. You're coming from an offensive line that has 3 first-rounders in it. You want to know why? You want to know why Jared Goff has a resurgence in his career? He's got 3 first-rounders in his O-line and 2 good running backs. You ain't got that in Vegas. How long is it going to get 3 first-rounders and 2 good running backs? I don't know, man.
They may say you got a 5-year window. Bring your GM. You guys draft it up, and we'll give. I
want to see whoever he goes to, TB. Whoever he goes to, you ain't got 3 first. A lot of people don't have 3 first-rounders in their offensive line.
That's
it.
Yeah. And that's why they look so good.
Hell yeah.
Damn near that whole team is all first round.
Well, hey, that's when you suck for 20 years in a row.
The Cowboys were too when they won in 12 a year. They bunch of first round picks on that offensive line.
Well, that was Herschel Walker.
Walker trade.
Yeah. But you know, and they have they say his buddy is the assistant GM in Washington. That's his boy, like that's his man.
Yeah,
so that's what he wants.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson.
Yeah, that's who he wants to bring with him. I mean, I totally agree with you when it comes to comparing, like, what are you going into? But if you're gonna walk in and they're gonna give you total power, like a 6-year deal, they're gonna make you probably the highest paid coach. It sounds like they're willing to give him whatever he wants.
I don't know if there's a lot of money in Vegas.
Yeah, right. I mean, think about it.
It is a small town, right?
Yeah.
Think about it. You got the draft coming up, and you don't have a GM. You need a coach, and you don't have a GM.
You quarterback.
That's why the Ben Johnson thing is still.
So what do most GMs do? They want to get rid of the coach that was there before them, right?
Exactly.
Bring their own people in. I mean, it makes all the sense in the world.
Well, more importantly, TB, you need a staff. You need a scouting staff.
Yeah.
Like this is who's going out to Mobile for the Senior Bowl? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, who's going to be? You need a staff. The hell with the coach and everything. Usually, first things first. You need a staff. So are they going to keep the old staff? Is probably what's going to have to happen. That's not probably. It's what's going to happen. You're going to keep the old staff, just like Foles did. Yeah, your scouting staff. You're going to need a scouting staff. And they're going to stay until next year. So after the draft, they'll all get fired by the new GM, and he'll bring his people in for next year. That's what happens with polls. It's just the way the cycle goes. Like a new guy can't come in and fire the staffing and because they've already done all the research and recon on all these players. Exactly. So you keep them.
You know something I heard on AM this yesterday. Tom Thayer, the old Bear, said when you fire a GM, you basically firing everybody in that place except the owners, because that GM basically bring in everybody. Mm-hmm. So you got to start, even the trainers, the dietitians, everything. So he said it's hard to get rid of a GM because the new GM want to bring all his people in.
Right.
But that's the only thing the Raiders have to offer is to get a big time coach. They're gonna have to just hand over like total power, and I think that's the only thing that's keeping them in the Ben Johnson speech today, because there's no way you look at the Bears roster and the Raiders rosters and say I'd rather be with the Raiders. Right? You're just not. I mean, even outside of Caleb Williams, they got the tight end over there, but
I want to know.
There's not a lot happening over there, man.
Who is Ben Johnson saying I'm bringing?
The rumor was Antoine Randall the OC.
I heard that, but that's a rumor. But it's like, man,
that's his boy.
That's a big ask, though.
I mean, he'll still be calling the play, so he'll just be an OC by title.
I'm talking about to bring your GM, bring your GM, who you want in there. That is a tall ask.
No, it's not unprecedented though.
No, I mean, especially with the type of offenses he's put up. I mean, they've had a top offense for the last 3. I say 3 years ago they were a really good offense. The last 2 years, this season and last season, they were one of the top offenses, the top offense in the NFL. So when you want to score points in Vegas, and you know how they love to score them points, they'll give it to him. It is an ask, but you know what? If he can deliver and if he can build an offense in Vegas like he has in Detroit.
But like you said, that's gonna take time with that roster.
Yes, it is.
And the Raiders fire a coach every other year. So are you going you got to really the first thing you're gonna have to ask for? I need 6 years.
I was gonna say 5, but okay, 6.
I'm gonna give me time. Dan Campbell got 6, so he's gonna want something similar to that.
Campbell got 6, but he started making it click right away after that first year, though.
Hey, and then what if they tank?
You know how impatient,
well, Arch,
I already know.
What if they just say tank? We're gonna tank. We're gonna build draft offensive linemen and tank for Arch. Archie man.
That might not be a bad thing. You get Arch, but then that buys them time because it buys
them time. Right. We can build this offensive line.
Guess who works with Arch in the summers?
Tom Brady.
Of course.
I love it when a plan comes together. This could be the plan that the Mannings had it all along.
It's like the Bible. It's all right before you. All you got to look and see it. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised when it happens. You be like, "Oh, why I didn't see that coming." You did.
I'll be like, "Damn, TV."
He'd be working with Tom Brady and both his uncles.
Right. Well, at least one of them.
Yeah, at least one of them.
Right. And his granddaddy.
And that'll be a stupid quarterback combination right there.
Right. So,
but since we on Ben Johnson, man, I know the hype. I know at some point we're gonna get to the Bears coaching search, but I know it seems like it's a home run, but some names been thrown out there over the last week, and it's what's scaring me a little bit. Adam Gase. Remember how good his offense was? They scored average like 36 points a game.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
And he was a horrible head coach. He was
the greatest show on turf. Offensive coordinator, March.
So,
man, Josh McDaniels, I get it. You could get a Sean McVay. You could end up with a Matt LaFleur type, but you could also end up with an Adam Gase, Josh McDaniels thing
Mark Trestman.
So
and can the Bears afford to take that risk?
The question is, do the Bears go for experience, or are they going after the shiny new toy? Because
the shiny new toy might not be shit.
Right. You might take it out the box and it just break.
Right.
It look good on the internet, and then when you do the tracking, it's in China. and it's all plastic. Yeah, come on, man. That's why I'm for McCarthy.
Yeah,
that's who I think.
That's not a bad pick at all.
McCarthy's the safest.
And he's the safest. Yeah,
he's the safe.
So the Bears got rebuffed by Pittsburgh and Tomlin because Tomlin said, "Save your time."
I don't even think that was.
I don't want Thompson. I used to, but I don't want him now.
Hey, he said that, Ben, because he actually doesn't think he's going anywhere, and he doesn't want to go anywhere. So that's why he said, "Save your time." I don't think it had nothing to do with the Bears. I think that just led into that story like that, man.
Hey, but
if you're gonna trade with somebody, you trade for Kyle Shanahan, not Mike Tomlin.
Yeah,
you're gonna trade with somebody.
You and Kevin said that I was fucking crazy 3 months ago when I brought up Tomlin and said that they tired of the fans, they tired of him. You and Kev was like, "Are you fucking high?"
Well, first of all, we say you crazy all the time. So which time you talking?
And they're right, probably 80% of the time.
We say it pretty regularly. So a couple months ago.
You didn't have. This was me and his conversation, Pat. You didn't have to get in.
Well, he asked for a character witness, so I went on the stand and testified.
Hey, DY.
But Don, you was right. I mean, Pittsburgh fans, I'm fed up. I mean, look, everybody want to, like, once you start making the playoffs regularly, but once you can't get over the top, man, people they tired of it. You know what I mean? Like, us as Bears fans would love to get to the damn first round of the playoffs.
But that's the problem with Bears fans. They want a coach that we need to all of a sudden now we need to make the playoffs every year, like, or we need to win a Super Bowl every year. Like, let's crawl before we can run.
Right.
Let's worry about, and that's why I'm okay with McCarthy. And he's not my first choice, but I'm okay with McCarthy. McCarthy's going to give you 10, 12 wins a season.
Oh,
get you in the first round, maybe get to the divisional round. Okay, and then after we lose 3 or 4 times in the division round, then you can say, okay, now we need a coach from B to C.
Right.
So,
or it could end up being an Andy Reid type situation. People forget
very
in
well.
Philly.
Yeah,
in Philly, he couldn't win the big one.
Yeah, he couldn't get over the hump.
He couldn't win. He got the KC. Now they talking about him as one of the greatest coaches of all time. You know, what I mean?
He was that before that, even in Philly. He's one of the best offensive minded coaches ever.
Yeah. But he could never get. He got one Super Bowl. He could never get. He got to a couple of NFC Championship games too, right?
Yeah.
But
he couldn't. My thing is, if you're gonna bring McCarthy in, I need to know. Well, I don't need to know, but the Bears should want to know who bringing in as your assistants.
Who the DC is what I care about.
But the DC, well, yeah, because he's gonna call the calls on the offense.
He got a pretty good track record with coordinators, though.
But also, he's been in the league. Like, he's got a long, like, the more experienced you are, the wider the bigger your Rolodex is as far as coaches.
Right.
Like he might have. Yeah. He might get Saleh to come over as a defense. I'd love if Robert Saleh came as a DC here. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I don't know, but I'm okay with him. He's not my first choice, but I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah. So Sean, give me your top 3 right now of the coaches that you want to have serious contentions for the Bears. Who your top 3 right now?
I'll go in reverse order. 3, Ben Johnson, just because it's a new shiny toy and he's good. He's the hot coordinator like Nagy and Adam Gase. He's my number 3. My number 2 is Mike McCarthy, because of who he is, his experience. My number 1 is Pete Carroll. All right,
really?
Pete Carroll. And here's why. Here's why. I was listening to Richard Sherman, and what's the most important thing on this Bears organization? Who's the most important person?
Caleb
Williams. Him and his development, right? Richard Sherman said one of the reasons they were great in Seattle was because of the fact that Pete Carroll breathed life into Russell when he got there. And I'm like, okay. And you know how energetic he is and positive he is. Imagine, and you all know I'm a Justin guy, but imagine if Pete Carroll breathes life into Caleb. Caleb had 3,500 yards this year, and we thought a lot of people still thought it was a shit year.
Right.
I mean, imagine if he breathes life into that son of a gun. How great that guy can be.
And they get him protection on that front line. Yeah.
So that's my 3 in reverse. Ben Johnson number 3, Mike McCarthy number 2, Pete Carroll number 1.
TB.
Oh, go to somebody else. Tom Don threw me with that.
Right, Sean.
Yeah,
Sean
he
did
did.
change
Sean-
the game. He threw
It
away
made
quick.
some sense.
Don threw
Right.
a huge ass monkey wrench. He threw
Right.
a huge
Okay,
monkey wrench in it.
What's your top three?
Ben Johnson's one, and I don't feel like he's like one of those shiny new toy type of deals, because if you look at what he did with the players that he had, you can't really compare him to Adam Gase, because Adam Gase made his bones with Peyton Manning being his quarterback, and he a cat that came up under Mike Martz. So if you put those two and two together, it doesn't spell for him being a great coach or even a greater coordinator. I think you got to try to find a guy that can harness young players, young talent, and I think Ben Johnson has done that in Detroit. Number two for me would be Aaron Glenn, because this is a dude who rose through the ranks, who've held every position that it takes. And if you hear other coaches talk about him, they talk about how prepared he is for this job. And then last will be McCarthy, just off the fact that he's got a proven track record. But I'm gonna tell you something. We cringe at the decisions that was made by Eberflus this year. You're gonna do the same cringing with McCarthy.
Luck.
Yeah, DY definitely hit my list, but just a different order though. Aaron Glenn, I do feel like he's gonna be a better head coach. Like I think he's gonna be a hell of a head coach wherever he ends up.
That's the DC and Detroit, right?
Detroit. Yeah, I think he's gonna be a hell of a head coach. But I'm gonna go. I'll change mine a little bit. What's the? I'm gonna go 3. That OC in Baltimore, man. What's his name?
Todd Monken.
Todd Monken. I've kind of been,
wondering if
you get more information week to week. Todd Monken, and seeing what he's done with Lamar, and he's
his
a
name is hot
guy.
too.
Now,
his name is hot on AM.
Yeah,
Todd Monken.
Yeah.
He could. I like. So I'm gonna throw him in at 3. I'm gonna go B in at 2, just because, like I said, it's 50-50. It's just the unknown. Like we know the known, but it's the unknown. And McCarthy got to be McCarthy's number 1 just because of the state the Bears are in. Like this thing needs to, like you got to try to go get as close to the sure thing as you can. And McCarthy is gonna at least get you. You won't be a below 500 team with him. I mean, the man has the same record as Sean Payton, and we would have loved to have Sean Payton a year ago. They have the identical record. Same amount of Super Bowls. I think this team needs more of a sure thing, man.
Pat?
McCarthy would be my 3rd pick because of experience and stuff. 1 and 2 is probably like a 1A, 1B, and I put them both on the same level, and that would be Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. Me myself, I know Ben Johnson is a great offensive mind. I tend to want to go towards Aaron Glenn more because he gives me that Dan Campbell feel of being able to bring a team together.
Okay, that's good. TB, you ready?
Yeah, I'll go. I'll go Todd Monken number 3, Aaron Glenn 2, and Mike McCarthy number 1. McCarthy because he's safe. I think he can get you at least 12 wins and into the playoffs. All right, that's a start. All right, well, I think we'll be happy with that. If we had that next year at 12-5, we'll be happy in the playoffs.
Yeah, we had
Aaron Glenn for the same reason Pat said. I think he'll be a good head coach. Now, Ben Johnson, I say no because of what he wants coming in. Then people we'll give you this, I don't want no diva coming in here running, just doing what he wants and tearing this whole team down. No, y'all can keep that.
Nobody mentioned Brian Flores.
Flores got a bad rap with Tua, and they just said it's other things he has said and done to players that I don't want him around Caleb.
Well, actually, DY kind of put me on to it. He went through 4 offensive coordinators.
Yeah.
That that turned me off right away, man. I like Brian Flores. I heard Ryan Fitzpatrick pretty much shit on him in an interview.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like you said, you never know. Maybe he learned, and maybe he's a little more humble now. I think he would be.
Hey,
he's going to be a good head coach. I just don't know if the Bears is the fit. Like the state the Bears are in. I just don't know.
Said everything, but fuck out of here.
That's what Ryan Clark said.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, they can't stand him.
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick, like, he can't stand him.
Fitzpatrick was talking like on site. I said,
Yeah.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick does not like him at all.
At all. If he could have cursed on that interview, he'd have been like that motherfucker. He would have went in if he could have cursed that interview.
And then he leave it with dead ass.
It was the most.
Then he dropped his mic like nigga.
It was the most PC way of saying he ain't shit ever. He was so PC with it.
He said he gonna drop the mic like nigga.
Hey, all right, we got the division rounds this weekend, man. All right. I'm going to start off Texans versus Chiefs. I'm going Texans, but they got KC by 9.
Them glasses thicker than they look then.
Joe Mixon hurt, right?
It don't matter.
You remember me and Damani when Damani was talking about how wrong you be sometimes? I said 80, 85%. Let's change that to 90. You just increased it.
Right. I think you wearing them damn Temu glasses and you saying the wrong damn thing. No Joe Mixon. They can't beat Kansas City, man. KC.
I thought Mixon was playing.
He played, but he's still hurt.
He hurt his ankle in practice.
His ankle messed up.
Hey.
He was good in what school did he go to?
We don't know.
Oklahoma.
We don't know.
Oklahoma? Oh.
Yeah,
we don't.
I didn't know.
What's that shirt? What's that shirt you got on, Timmy? What's that shirt you got on?
I can't read. I went to Thornton.
Lefty. So you going KC?
Yeah, man. Unless some miracle way, then CJ Stroud come out and throw for like 500 yards or something. But nobody talks about KC's defense. They got a hell of a defense. And Houston's O-line.
Houston defense is playing well now.
Yeah, but Houston O-line ain't that. Chris Jones going to eat all day. CJ Stroud running for his life all game. Trust me.
He ain't really tripping.
Superback.
Houston got no. I don't think Houston has a chance. I think it's very similar to the way the Bulls were back in the 90s. Like they realized the regular season won, Jack, and they still win. Only lost one because come on, that last game. I don't even think they let Patrick Mahomes in the stadium. Like, nah, you ain't. We don't want you to stub your toe. Nothing. Just stay at home. Everybody. So they ran through the regular season. They understand they're on the precipice of history, first three-peat in the NFL history, and I think they're ready to roll, man. They are. I mean, look what they did in the regular season. Anybody who came up and not they didn't blow them out, but they just kept you. But they knew what they did, what they had to do to win that game, win those games. A lot of coaches.
They get more speed with Hollywood Brown back.
Yeah, you get Hollywood Brown back. Yeah.
They do, and they do have the refs in their pocket. So, hey, what I tell you, Tom? Didn't I tell you? Did we just talk about Tom Brady? All right, he rules are different for Tom Brady. Rules are different for the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. Like you don't got. Hey, we had the rules different for us. We had Mike. Come on, Ma. Come on now.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
We knew that it was all right then, right?
Yeah.
That dude up there on the left.
Listen, you put Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy on opposite sides, and tell them just go do a go route. Travis Kelce gonna eat so much of them in the middle of that field. They gonna beat
Isaiah Pacheco too.
Yeah.
Him out
I don't think people talk enough about KC defense, man. KC.
You're right. They don't. They really don't. That defense is crazy.
Good. Spagnolia got them.
Each one of y'all after this game, just text me Negro Diamonds.
Hey, I got a question, man.
Or I'm gonna say dumbass.
Is Tank Dale playing? Hey, Ben, Tank Dale playing?
Tank Dale should be playing.
Tank Dale out.
Tank Dell ain't even walking.
Right.
Oh,
The
leg
D-
is gone.
Is D-Hop playing?
Oh,
Ben,
Yeah,
D-Hop
Nico
playing?
playing.
Listen,
Nico
man.
playing.
Nico
Nah,
is all they need.
I asked you, was D-Hop playing, Ben? Answer the question.
Hey,
I forgot about him.
where
Mixon
you
hurt,
trying
right?
to, where you
Mixon
trying to
hurt.
go with this?
And Kansas City what they been doing? Oh, resting and getting healthy. And you want to bet against Kansas City and Andy Reid?
That's their problem.
Say
right
bet.
there.
Say the word.
You think Rust is gonna have him?
Bet.
Bet.
You think Rust?
Bet. Hey, Demond, you heard that? Bet.
Yeah.
Well, all y'all against me on this one. Okay, so next game is Commander.
D-Y pick.
You know D.Y., where you going?
I'm gonna pick Kansas City. I think the game gonna be a lot closer than I think a lot of people expect. I don't expect a blowout just because of how highly ranked that Houston defense is. They 4th in the league in sacks, 2nd in interceptions. They're gonna put some pressure on Mahomes, but I think the one thing you talk about Kansas City defense, but them getting their running game back, I think is a pretty big deal too. They really need that. That kind of set the stage for them.
I think Kansas City gonna come out, and I actually think they're gonna put up numbers and show y'all why they're going back for a 3-peat.
Nah, I'll take Houston to cover. I'll take them to cover that. Ain't it like 8? What's the spread?
9.
9.
I'll take Houston to cover that spread.
Okay. Well,
It's gonna be cold out there too.
Yes, they playing in Arrowhead.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Commanders Lions. D.Y. That's a 8.5 Detroit.
Man, this Washington team is something else. I'll pick Detroit, especially with them getting Montgomery back and a few other players coming back. But I would not be surprised to see Washington keep it close. I would not be surprised to come down to the last possession.
Okay.
It's only supposed to be 34 over there, so it ain't going to be too bad. Winds are up to 25 miles an hour, 22 miles an hour. So the temperature might feel like 12 degrees.
No, okay.
So
In Arrowhead.
At Arrowhead.
In
At Kansas City.
Well,
That
I'm
helps.
taking the Lions. And I'm going to say I think Jaden Daniels is going to have a good game as far as running the ball. But I think they're going to pick him off at least 2 times.
Okay.
Them Lions secondary, they fast.
PG.
I'm a roll with my boy Will God and the Lions. I think the defense is going to get to them several times. Even though they've been decimated, they still playing lights out on the D.
They're getting a couple of guys back too.
Are they?
Yeah.
That
corner back. They get a corner and somebody else back.
It should be expected. They had lost 37 players.
Yeah, that's why I said they playing with people that was bagging groceries right now.
Man.
But
And
yeah,
still
that's
number one seed.
Yeah, and that alone shows you the depth and that
hats off Dunbar.
And hats off to coaching they coaching staff, man. Like that's what's gonna be their downfall next year. They better win it this year because Johnson and Glenn
So they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose.
Johnson
all
and Glenn are good as gone.
coordinators.
So definitely. But
Yeah.
Man, this Washington team has been resilient all year though, man. Like they hang in there. Like I'm taking Detroit, but I wouldn't be shocked if Washington pulled off some miracle as last second field goal.
I
wouldn't be that shocked, man.
It had to be a one-score game. It had to be a one-score game for them.
But looking at what Aaron Glenn, what he's done, what he did to Minnesota, you know how his game plan and like you say, he's prepped. He's gonna give Jaden Daniels fit, but Jaden Daniels' ability to run is gonna help him a little bit. But I'm definitely taking Detroit. But like I said, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be that shocked if Washington somehow pulled it out. I didn't think they was gonna beat Tampa last week.
That'll be the upset for the playoffs right there.
Yeah.
Sean, you got anything different?
No, I'm in lockstep with luck, man. Detroit got to win. Detroit's going to win, but it wouldn't be too. I wouldn't be if it's close. and Washington pulls it off, I'll be like, yeah, I'm not really that surprised. Jaden Daniels has done it. He's come back a few times. Once against us, we saw, but he's come back a few times this year. And this kid is feeling free, which is really cool. It's good to see him. I mean, there's going to be pressure on him, but right now with the way he's playing, it doesn't seem like he's feeling any pressure at this stage of the game. So I think I think Cliff Kingsbury's got a big part of that in helping him be, kind of free and relaxed. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't be a huge shock if Washington upsets them, but I think Detroit is on a mission. I think they're on a mission.
Yeah. And don't they get Montgomery back too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So they're double fisted in the backfield. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Which I like the other kid, man. So much.
Gibbs.
Awesome,
Yeah.
man.
Honestly, I love them together because, man, they are
Thunder
handful.
and Lightning.
Man, they are a handful.
Dude, doesn't that remind you of USC back in the day with Lindell White and Bush?
Bush, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man, Jesus.
Which when they got to the pros, well, at least with White, that Thunder was all sunshine.
Man, the way Ben
Storm
Johnson
settled, huh?
The way Ben Johnson exposed Minnesota, like creating those mismatches with Gibbs, man, it was, it's amazing.
But again,
I'll take Aaron Glenn against Cliff Kingsbury any day.
But what Sean said, you got 3 first-round draft on that offensive line. You got to give them some credit for a lot of holes and stuff that's there.
So this game really intrigues me, the Rams versus Eagles, and they got Philly by 6.5. Now, Matthew Stafford and his crew, Jesus Christ. DY, who you got in this one?
Jalen Hurts ain't been himself since he come back from that concussion. And that worries me a tremendous amount. That and the team ain't very, very healthy right now, especially the wide receivers. A lot of them are still kind of playing hurt. So I will pick Philly because they are the favorite. They at home. I'll give them that credit, but that game gonna be a whole lot closer than I think a lot of people expect. The Rams got a chip on their shoulder. And I think they showed their butts last week against Minnesota. So we'll see how it comes out.
What up, Sweets?
Sean.
Sweets, my boy.
Eagles. I got the Eagles. Yeah. I just think that
what up, bro?
I think Saquon Barkley is gonna have they blew him out last time. Saquon Barkley ran for 255 on him. I doubt that's going to happen again, but I do think Saquon Barkley's going to have another good game, and I think this is the game where Jalen Hurts, and they're at home. You said, they're at home. It's tough to beat Philly at home. For some reason I'm not really worried about the Rams. I don't think like, oh man, the Rams. For some reason, I don't know why. I mean, they got Puka Nacua, they still got Cooper Kupp, but I'm still not wowed or in awe of the Rams by any stretch. And Philly, if they got that stud offensive line we just talked about with Detroit, Philly got one of them offensive lines too, and that can go a long way with Saquon because if you start padding up that line, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, all right, you got guys who can really hurt you in the back end. So I got Philly. I got Philly.
TV.
I'm taking the Rams, and I hate to do it. Because of the Max and Danny D, but what scares me is Philly lost a lot of players last week. Defensive players, stars that won't be playing today. The other thing is the Rams' defensive line is big. And Philly, they do got a great offensive line, but those ain't the biggest dudes over there. You got to watch that. Plus, you got Matt Stafford, man. He'll eat you alive, man, in the playoffs.
Hall of Famer.
So I'm gonna take the Rams.
Jalen Carter gonna be able to get to him.
Is the weather.
Jalen Carter ain't all pro for nothing.
Yeah.
That we passed on.
The guy. I was just about to say that, man. I was just about to say that. the guy that we traded one pick out to let them get in.
What up? Yeah, but the man quit on his damn workout. Are you good? The man quit doing his damn team thing. I mean, come on. Man.
You know what? People can talk all that shit that they want. Here's what they did in this. You know what? I don't give it. I couldn't care less. Show me the film.
I'm okay with Darnell Wright, though. You're not okay with
I am
Darnell
too.
Wright?
No. But you know what? I'm not okay with him the way he regressed, and that's Chris Morgan. But dude,
how does he still have his job?
I have no idea.
Line coach.
But hey, you give me if I had my choice.
Naked pictures of Virginia.
Oh, stop it! Oh, jeez.
Did I give you a visual shot?
Nice one.
Come on, man.
Wow.
Dude.
You got Virginia in a compromising position.
That's the look you gave me.
Wow.
Come on, man.
I take Jalen Carter over Darnell Wright, though. I'll tell you that.
Look, who you going with, man?
They were more with Carter with his off-field stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, man, TB took my upset, man, and I hate to do it too. Like you said, the Max and Daddy, the big time Eagles fans. But I'm real big on momentum going into the playoffs, and the Rams they've been rolling, man. And Matthew Stafford, he's one of those dudes that could pull it off. And I don't think Philly's been playing their best ball.
And they got a good defense.
Yeah, like B.Y. said, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts hasn't been at his best. They nicked up a lot of injuries. I'm gonna take the Rams in the upset.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna take the Rams in the upset.
Pat, where you going, Pat?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams won, but I'm gonna roll with Philly. I think Jalen Hurts will have a better game today. I actually believe that Saquon's gonna have a really good game, and those receivers will come back. I think I'm gonna go with Philly, man.
If Philly loses this game, front office is going to have some decisions to make.
They definitely will.
Right. My eyes. Right. My eyes. All right. The game that everybody want to see.
Yep.
Ravens, Bills, and they got this one. Baltimore 1.5.
They in Baltimore.
PG.
I mean, they in Buffalo. What's that weather up in Buffalo right now, Sean?
Cold as hell.
Cold as hell.
And they said
this one of them games where it's hard, man, because they both evenly matched. I think it's gonna come down to the running game. If Derrick Henry can get off running, him and Lamar tandem together with running the ball, I get an edge to Baltimore. But if not, I think that boy gonna kill him today.
Look,
they don't play today, do they?
No,
they play tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow. And the weather tomorrow is 22 degrees.
Damn.
22 degrees tomorrow. It's snowing now. It said no snow tomorrow, but we'll see. And it's going to be 22 degrees, a high of 22 degrees tomorrow in Buffalo.
On them two running.
I believe Lamar needs to win this one real bad.
He does.
Yeah, I believe it. I think it's going to be a shootout. But Baltimore's secondary worries me. And Josh Allen can cook. You know what I mean? So, but I'm gonna roll with my best friend Will Folks' team, man. I'm gonna take Baltimore just because I'm pulling for Lamar Jackson, man, and Derrick Henry. I really like those guys. I'm pulling for them, so I'm
DY.
go with them.
So I'm kind of looking forward a little bit on this, and I'm looking at these two teams and thinking about if anybody was to beat Kansas City or stop them from going to their third Super Bowl, which one of these teams would be that team? And that's kind of how I look at everything. Right now, I feel like Buffalo is that team. I'm still not sold on Lamar winning the big one. I think that's his biggest Achilles heel. All the MVPs, all of the records, all of the offensive numbers that they put up this year as a team.
Jim Kelly part 2?
Well,
2.0?
Jim Kelly couldn't win the big one.
Jim Kelly got to the Super Bowl. Lamar ain't did that yet. So at the end of the day, Lamar still got to show and prove, and I'm not so sure that this year is going to be the year for him. I just feel like Buffalo especially if they get into a shootout. Lamar always tries to do too much, and if it does get into a shootout, they'll lose. They gotta win a time of possession game for them to have a chance.
That's why running the ball is going to be important.
I agree with you there. Yeah.
Well, just like Lamar can't win the big game, and I know he don't have the ball out, but Derrick Henry has not had great games in playoffs.
Right.
Now, so
Right.
Hell, and Josh Allen ain't won the big one either. Why we?
No, I agree with that too. I'm just going. As much as I want to say Baltimore for the black quarterback, I just think Buffalo gonna win at home.
Sean.
Yep.
I think, man,
Right, it's tough, man.
it's real tough because if Derrick Henry does get to go off, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Yeah.
Him and Lamar being able to run, and Lamar with the dual option. But if they can't,
And they don't have Zay Flowers. He's big.
yeah, that's huge. I think Buffalo might be able to pull it off. Home. I think Hofield's gonna dictate the winner. I think that'll be Buffalo, and it won't be. It ain't blowing them out, but I think it might be a solid win, like maybe 10 points.
Right.
You know,
If it's a
9,
shootout,
10
that
points.
favors Buffalo big time. It's a shootout.
Yeah,
And if
If
you
it's a
CBS, who you want to see? Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, or Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, which you've seen so many times.
We seen Mahomes and Allen and Mahomes and Jackson.
And I think that's a win-win for CBS. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think you can go wrong with either matchup. But
I think
Allen's
Baltimore.
Allen's the only guy who's beaten Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
Yeah, I think
Allen's the
Baltimore
only-
bring the better numbers if it came down to it.
Oh,
Well, 'cause everyone wants to see Lamar.
Ryan just told me they was
Everybody
recording.
wants to see
Zay
Lamar.
Flowers may play. Does they make
Oh, really?
Yeah.
okay, but how healthy is he going to be? How effective is he going to
Right.
be? You know what I mean?
Especially in that cold.
I mean, Allen's the only one to beat Patrick Mahomes, not named Tom Brady. So
Yeah.
Burrow did.
with him too, but he ain't playing. You're right. But
Right. They made sure that he didn't get in.
Nah, that
Well,
conspiracy
no,
bullshit
they
there,
made
man.
sure.
Yeah, come on now.
Yeah, they made sure because they screwed around all year.
Ain't nobody scared of Cincinnati. People killing me with that. Oh,
It
they
ain't the
took them
fact
out
that
on
scared of Cincinnati is scared of Joe.
They're scared of
Joey
Joe
Burrow.
Cool.
scared.
Joey Burr.
They're scared of Joe Cool, baby.
All
What
right,
is
fellas,
big-
I got a little NBA Player City Edition.
With that Eminem haircut.
You see, he lost that quick right after the first game.
Yeah, he should. Should have got slapped for even having it.
What I got here, I'm gonna give you a team of 5 players from a city versus another group of 5 players from a city, and you tell me who wins, and we're gonna move them through like a playoff format to see who is standing last after all the smoke.
Does it matter position? You just putting there's 5 of the best and whatever.
I got 5 players from a city.
I mean, I'm saying not position based, just putting 5 up.
I kind of gave you bigs, I gave you guards, so
Okay.
and I think I got them pretty even.
So pretty
So-
much you gave us a team from each side.
Yeah, I gave you a team for each
Okay.
city. So first round, we got Detroit versus Philly.
Oh,
Detroit, George Gervin, Ralph Sampson, C. Webb. I know Magic was not from Detroit, but I'm putting Magic on his squad along with Steve Smith.
oh,
George Gervin, Ralph Sampson, C. Webb, Magic, and Steve Smith.
It's already my favorite team.
right.
Philly,
That's why.
Philly, you got Wilt Chamberlain, Rasheed Wallace,
Ooh.
Kobe,
Bean.
Bo Kimball, and Mikael Bridges.
Detroit.
Detroit. Only because of Philly guards. Detroit.
You lost us with Bo Kimball.
Hey, Mike. Don't say that. I was
And-
like, he said
It was
Bo
hard
Kimble.
to find someone that last person in Philly.
You're right.
Who was after Bo Kimball?
Hey, you pull that out your ass. You struggled to
Who was
find
right.
that one.
Bo Kimble.
and Bridges. Like who the fuck?
Right, Mikhail Bridges.
Bridges, he balls out, man. He ain't no like elite player, but remember, Bo
So
Kimball
Philly
put
didn't
up
have
numbers
nobody
on
else at guard.
It was hard on this one, TB. It was
Man.
hard.
Even though Wilt them is they'll be hard to be beat, but
I think it's pretty
Well,
unanimous that we all like Detroit.
yeah, I take Detroit.
I don't even know if you got to go through the whole.
I'm still tripping because he said Bo Kimble.
Right, because it's even guard. It's even players on Detroit that he left off that could have been in there. Yeah, so
Yeah, I had to leave some people off of Detroit
Yeah.
because they got a whole gang.
they got a
of
list. Yeah,
Yeah, he still mentioned Jalen Rose.
Yeah,
All right, so
Taylor.
everybody unanimous. Detroit moves on. Next game, Indy versus Chicago.
Chicago.
you know we're gonna be
Here,
biased.
next.
Man.
Next.
We're gonna be biased, was Chicago.
Indy
really
got
wanna hear
Big Dog, Bird, Sean Kemp, Eric Gordon, Darius Garland.
I ain't know Sean Kemp from Indiana.
Yeah,
Elkhart Lake. Elkhart Lake, Indiana.
yeah.
So that's Indiana. So
Big Dog,
Chicago,
Bird, Kemp. Who else? Gordon,
Big
Eric
Dog,
Gordon.
Bird, Kemp, Eric Gordon, and Darius Garland. So Chicago, you know you got Zeke, Mark Aguirre, Anthony Davis, D Rose, and D Wade.
You ain't even got to go through the whole.
Right.
It's Chicago. We ain't got to.
You shouldn't even put Chicago in the mix. This is us,
Right.
it's New York.
Let's save a little time.
Okay.
But
Or is it just killing
Chicago
time?
is better.
Right, you
small.
got Zeke.
We small though.
Yeah, you got Zeke, Aguirre, D Wade, D Rose.
You could
Hey,
and
Davis.
AD.
you could have left AD off of it and
Nah,
put
you
you
gotta
got
have
Howard on there.
You need a big. Who you say?
Yeah,
You gotta have-
Give me give me the
Makes
big
sense.
ticket. Give me the big ticket. Give me
Right.
Kevin
You ain't
Garnett.
put Kevin
He
Garnett
wasn't
on there.
born here. He wasn't born here, man. So that's why I didn't put him on there.
Hey, but he's fair gets on, baby. West
Man,
Side.
he spent his whole career damn near playing him in high school.
No, he
he
only
came
played
2
1
years.
year here.
One
Yeah,
year.
you right. You right. He only played 1 year. You
Right.
I
know,
don't claim
I'm
Kevin
trying to be
Garnett.
fair, not to
I
put
don't
him
claim-
on there because he wasn't born here.
Yeah, he's mauled in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
All right. Next game, Toronto versus Jersey. Toronto, it was a little.
No, Jersey. Easy.
Look,
that was a struggle for you, wasn't it?
you got Tristan Thompson, Wiggins, Rick Fox, Shay Shay,
New Jersey.
RJ Barrett
New Jersey.
versus Shaq, Rodman, Towns, Kyrie, and J.R. Smith.
Yeah, let's just save time on that one too.
Hey,
That's
yeah.
what I said.
I can't even type it that fast.
You should avoid that when you was coming up with it.
I know you struggled with that Toronto team, didn't you? You struggled finding them.
Surprised you put Drake on there.
Tristan Thompson, right?
All right, so now you got L.A. versus New York.
Oh,
L.A. is Harden, Klay Thompson, Kawhi, Eldon Campbell, and Kevin Willis.
Eldon Campbell.
They're the only big man that's out of LA.
Man, you would be surprised. Ain't no bigs coming out of L.A.
oh yeah, right. Is that PG? Paul
You should have
George?
just ran with all guards and fours then.
You
Paul
didn't do
Pierce.
Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce, Inglewood's finest.
Yeah.
Hated the Celtics growing up, and then became one of their biggest stars.
And he
what
smoked
was
good weed. And he
What was the
smoked
light
damn
skinned
good weed.
7-footer the Bulls
Not a-
drafted out of high school?
Tyson Chandler.
Tyson
Chandler?
Bomb ass Chandler.
Right. Hey,
He
Eldon
played-
Campbell was decent.
Was nothing.
He was
As
service.
we say at all.
we gonna help you out. Let's trade out Elvin Campbell for Tyson Chandler. Let's at least make it a little interesting.
All right, I'll give you that.
Trade them out.
New York,
New
Melo,
York.
Chris Mullins, Strickland,
Mm.
Kenny Anderson, and Joakim Noah as the big.
You forgot one.
Who?
Power Memorial's high. Power Memorial's own.
Michael
Right,
Jeffrey.
Kareem.
He's
Lou
born in New York.
Alcindor.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was born in
BK.
Jordan was born in New York, but
he
but
was
Lou
born
Alcindor.
there and shipped out to Carolina real quick.
Yeah, he was born
Okay.
in
Well, then
Brooklyn.
we can claim Garnett then.
No.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean,
No.
Tupac was born in New York too, but he claims that.
Right.
You said Chris Mullin, Rod Strickland. Who else?
Kenny Anderson, Mello.
Oh,
New York for me.
You're gonna have to swap one of them out for Kareem, dude.
yeah, Power Memorial. Come on, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, get rid of Rod Strickland.
DY.
Don't be disrespectful, DY. Now,
Hot Rod.
Hey, no.
Rod,
DY. From now on,
With
DY.
all those guards, though, if you pull them out for Kareem, you know,
Well, how you gonna put Rod Strickland over Earl the Pearl?
Hey, Damani, I got a suggestion. From
Earl
now on, when it
Pearl
comes to this type of researching, leave that to
Is
DY.
it?
Because
Yep.
you ain't come up with the fact that Mike was from
Not
New York.
Syracuse, Earl the Pearl.
He
That's
was
terrible.
born there and shipped out
I don't
in
care.
2 days.
DY the research king.
Well, either way.
Days.
Your research sucked.
He was born there and shipped to Carolina overnight.
Sound like it was a slave trade.
Damn.
You
Hey,
sound like
you
was a
did say
slave
that, man.
trade,
He was
like-
shipped overnight. Like he's a package or something.
Overnight?
He was
Like he's FedEx package.
12
FedEx.
years a slave? They just
FedEx shipped his
took him
ass
down
out.
south?
They,
All right,
they,
so
they
now
did him like Moses.
round 2. Detroit versus the Shy.
The shot.
Stop it.
Chicago over everybody.
Right.
You gonna end up with the same end game, Chicago versus New York, and we already talked about it.
Right.
So y'all not gonna give Detroit a chance.
No,
No, they got a
against
chance.
Toronto.
I'm giving Detroit a shot.
Magic,
Matter of fact, I'm
Steve
gonna say they're the
Smith,
second
Steve
best.
Webb, Ralph Sampson, and the Iceman.
That's a squad, man. That's a hell of a squad.
Who running the ball, holding the ball, running point for him?
Magic.
Magic or Steve
Oh,
Smith.
Magic.
Matter.
But Magic can't stand in front of Isaiah nor D Rose.
Well, that
Hey,
is facts.
not very many people can.
Right.
Right. So remember,
That's
Isaiah
you named the all knees team in Detroit.
Right.
They all have bad knees. Everybody you named in Detroit.
But hey, real talk.
No
I'ma keep it
lateral,
100.
lateral movement team.
If you keep it 100 for the sake of the game, Detroit will beat that Chicago team because we got no height.
Yeah, because
They
that's the
6'9"
day
and
going to
four
put on there.
across.
Well,
Yeah, but
You
we
got
can
Anthony
run,
Davis.
we can run the ball like Golden State. They'll never be able to. We'll put up 150 points with that team.
Yeah, and lose by 10.
Never.
No,
That team.
them big boys gonna get tired. Them big boys gonna get tired as hell.
People forget how good Ralph Sampson was, though.
Ralph
man.
wasn't no big dude to get tired like that. Yeah.
Ralph was good, though. Ralph.
And who else you say? Ralph and Chris Webber. Who's the other big man?
George Gervin, Iceman.
Yeah. Hey, you talking about in their prime? Hey, man. Yeah.
Iceman, Prime was told.
That is a big team, though. That team is huge.
Yeah. That's 6'9" across the board.
Yeah.
Got some scores on that team. Steve Smith wasn't no slouch.
Now
Steve
he's
Smith was
6'7".
nice.
Not at all.
Steve Smith was nice. I met him in Vegas.
So what y'all think?
But if you put all 10 of their knees together, you still couldn't come up with one good one.
Nah.
Them knees ain't shit on that team. Everybody knees jacked up on that squad.
You might-
Man gay like a mother Hubbard.
real good point, man. Running that flow, man. They probably some of them wouldn't get past half court in the track.
Hey, Jay Gris, hey, how about some DC ballers?
Just swap D Rose out.
DC got some ballers too. DC got some hoopers.
Jay Grizz, you right. DC does. I almost had them in here, but I couldn't find like top tier to go against some of these cats.
Is it Reggie? Who's the guys that went to Dunbar? The guys in
Reggie
Baltimore, right?
Reggie
Reggie Williams, the guy,
Reggie
Dunbar High
Williams.
School in Baltimore was a powerhouse.
The kid that died in for the Celtics.
Len
Len
Bias.
Bias.
Not Lynn Bias, the other one.
Reggie Lewis.
Reggie Lewis.
Oh,
Reggie Lewis.
yeah.
Yeah, he's from Dunbar too, if I'm not mistaken. Dunbar was a powerhouse.
No, they from Maryland.
Len Bias.
Okay. Well, the DC, and yeah,
No, I'm
Yeah,
saying they
DC.
from the state of Maryland.
Yeah.
Ain't Dunbar in Baltimore, Maryland?
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
I mean,
I
the
know
whole
DC
the whole
right there.
DMV area, the DMV
Right.
area.
Yeah.
But now you
Pretty
get
much.
Kevin Durant from the DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get Durant. You'll get Dave
Don't-
Bing,
Don't forget AI,
Elgin
He's
Baylor.
from Virginia.
He from Virginia.
the
Right.
DMV area. Yep.
That area,
DC,
yeah.
Maryland,
Well,
Virginia.
instead of saying DC, you say DMV, and you get
Cover all of them.
you get a better
They all
Awesome.
work in DC. That's why the traffic's so damn bad.
It ain't because everybody want to go see Trump.
Not at all.
No.
So we going Detroit or Chi?
Chicago.
Go at the shot, man. You're gonna be biased, but that Detroit team wasn't no slouch though. That was probably your second best team in the thing.
All right.
Now, New Jersey.
we
They
going
can hold their head up high in defeat.
And Chicago
Jersey.
over everybody.
and NYC. So Jersey, remember, it's Shaq, Rodman, Karl Anthony Towns, Kyrie, and J.R. Smith.
They taking the L too.
To Melo, Chris Mullins. Are we swapping out Strickland for Cap?
Yeah, you got to. They need a big.
Lou Alcindor. Lou
They need a
Alcindor.
big. New York need a big in that.
and Kenny Anderson? So
Dude, imagine Kenny Anderson with Lou Alcindor. Jesus Christ.
I still say Jersey.
Yeah, I think I'll say Jersey also.
Now imagine Kenny Anderson going
I don't
against
know, man.
Kenny Anderson going up against Kyrie.
Dude, he was Kyrie before Kyrie.
Yeah,
Kenny
he
Anderson had
was.
a stupid ass handles, man.
hey, the way he stood Bobby Hurley up on the fast break that one year, Georgia
legendary.
Tech against Duke,
Yeah.
with
He just
the
can't shoot like Kyrie.
man.
No.
Shit, Kenny Anderson averaged damn near 30 points in college.
Yeah, but Kenny Anderson was getting. He was freezing people and going by him.
Yeah.
A lot of his stuff was mid-range to layup.
Right, he
Most
was
of the
nothing in
stuff
the
was
league.
Hey, he was coming full speed at Bobby Hurley and just stopped, hit him with the behind the back, boop, boop, freeze.
Yeah, you watch that what's that point guards, that documentary? So a lot of them say Kenny was the best
Yeah.
out of all the New York
His
high school.
nickname,
Who's?
oh shit, what's his nickname? Because he got his own documentary. I
The
watched.
little Puerto Rican dude?
No, Kenny Anderson.
Nah.
What's his nickname? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh man, I gotta look that up. But if you watch this documentary, man, he was a monster.
When he then he
Mr.
got a kid by
Chibb.
one of the girls from
Mr. Chibbs. Yeah, that's it. Mr. Chibbs.
Yeah.
Dang.
Hey,
Mr.
Ben,
Chibbs.
one more time. Who the guards on that New York team?
On that New York team is Kenny Anderson, Melo, Chris Mullins, Joakim Noah, and Kareem. Because y'all pulled off.
You can't put Kenny Anderson in there over Stephon Marbury.
Oh.
got a
What?
I think that's
No.
about it.
No, that ain't
That's
no
one
about
they will
nothing.
beat. That's
That
one
ain't
they will
about
beat.
nothing.
Hey.
Not listen. Stephon was
TBK.
better at Georgia Tech than he was, and in the league.
Never.
no, he wasn't better than Kenny Anderson at Georgia Tech.
Never.
Dog,
Not
stop
in
it,
Georgia
man.
Tech, bro.
Man.
Stop it. Hey, man.
That
Y'all
Kenny Anderson
don't
was-
hate on Marbury, man.
Wow.
There was no hate at all. But man, no, he was.
There's no way.
Well, it's 2.5 years.
Marbury, man.
He was born there.
Man, yeah,
Marbury
no
was
doubt.
not-
Marbury was dope.
Not even
feedback
not
over there.
in
Who
New
said
York
something,
high school
Mike?
ball. Kenny was the dude.
I'm going with that Jersey squad.
And Steph wasn't.
I'm going with that Jersey squad.
Yeah, I'm going with Jersey too. Jersey.
I mean,
behind
either one
Chicago.
of you can. Either one of you can go wrong. Even if you switch Kenny Anderson, put Stephon Marbury in there, you can't
I'm
go wrong.
still going Jersey.
Still got to go that way.
I'm going Jersey.
Yeah, I'm going Jersey too. Just simply because of Shaq.
My roommate from college played Kenny, and he said he was just in high school. Said he was just on another level. Like that dude's. Like there's certain people who are made to do certain things. Said Kenny Anderson was made to play basketball.
They said
And you,
the man.
and you don't
He
even
was-
got
he was-
Dr.
he
J
was
on
made
this
to
New
dribble.
York team.
That's what he
Like,
was
what's
good at.
going on here?
I forgot about Julius. You can split New York in about 2 or 3 teams, though.
It's split by boroughs.
Shit, Nate,
Yeah, Nate
You split 'em by-
you can split New York and
Yeah, they don't
Chicago
like
into a bunch of different teams.
Yeah, South Side, West Side for Chicago.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. You can definitely go South Side, West Side. You can go boroughs in New York, Brooklyn. Yeah.
Shit, you can do the suburbs for Chicago too. Same thing.
Yeah.
Now that's one thing we could do next. Just all Illinois. You can do downstate. You can do West Side. You can do South Side. You can do
Sean Livingston come into that one. Then.
Yes, he does.
the burbs. I mean, you
Emmanuel.
Chicago alone,
$100.
man,
Howard Nathan,
man.
rest in
East
peace.
St. Louis. You someone say East St. Louis?
St. Louis, yeah.
LaFonso Ellis.
Daniel,
Fonzo
You got it.
Ellis.
Mike Finley in there.
Mike Finley. Yeah.
West Side.
Yeah, you do that. You do them Peoria Manual teams.
Yeah.
Howard Nathan didn't make the league, but he was a monster, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Sherrell Ford as well.
Sherrell
Rest in peace,
Ford. Boyce.
Donnie Boyce. Yeah.
Them all on one team.
Yeah.
Right. Then hell, you come out here to the south suburbs. You got Gill, Trey
Kendall
Webb,
Gill.
Oh, somebody just brought it. Yep. Corey McGetty.
Corey McGarry.
Corey McGetty from the Catholic League.
Bill Henderson.
Big
From
Lou.
Leo. No,
You-
that
Bill
was,
Henderson
You
with the
got
Creek
Demoni's
brothers.
boy.
who was the guy?
Craig Hodges.
Sherelle
Tom
Ford.
Kleinsmith.
Don't you say it. Don't you
Sherelle Ford.
Tom Kleinsmith.
don't you say it.
He's in the
that-
north. He's a few north.
Is that who Damani got real close and personal with?
Don't you- Y'all
Hey.
I'm triggered. Y'all triggered
Hey,
me.
Pat.
Tyler.
Pat spent off from scored. The coach called timeout. But he walked past the money, bunched his shoulder, nigga.
Ben, this is Damani Face.
Come on.
Hey, but you know what, man? I was there for it. Damani played hellified defense on Kleinsmith, but he just
Until that
Couldn't do
point.
nothing with that big
it
man.
was just, you had great defense, you just had better offense, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
Hey, Ben, let me. You talk like you from the South. His name ain't Klein Smith. Klein Smith. Hey, you call Walt
Chris-
Wilt. You call Wilt Walt. I'm like, damn, what's wrong with Ben?
I had a
He
long
called
night.
He called Chris Mullins.
Yeah, you heard that too, right?
He all over the place.
When
Hey,
he say all the children.
do you want to make the list?
People,
Do you want to make the list, Sean?
No, just send it over so I can edit it.
It's a lot of
instead of saying
keys.
he say me 5, me 50. Damn.
Hey, we better. Hey, chill out. We're gonna go on Ben's list. Stop it.
Fuck him, man.
I'm already on the list, so it don't make a difference to me.
Fuck
I'll
him,
stay on
man.
this list.
Hey, Sean, you was the only one on this panel that wasn't on the list, but you are now added.
Ben's like,
Check.
Yeah. So now we got Chicago versus Jersey.
If we being honest, Jersey, but
Yeah.
from Chicago.
Ain't nobody at Chicago team stopping Shaq big ass.
No,
not in high school.
If you tell the truth, the chips are stacked against us already.
right. We ain't got no big men.
You better throw Kevin Garnett in there.
And the big man we got.
He
Even
too light
with
now.
that,
we got some-
wouldn't put him over Jersey.
We got some big men. We got Thomas Hamilton. We got Rashard Griffith.
Yeah.
Hell
King.
no.
I'm not saying
right
they're
there,
going
we
to
lost.
stop
You might as
Shaq.
well throw Eddie Curry on that end.
Eddie
We
Curry
don't-
in there.
We don't throw no big man in there just to throw him in there. Fuck
Right.
that.
I mean, Eddie
Right.
Curry was a
That's
hell of a
case.
high school player.
If you're going
And
to just
he
throw
didn't know what
somebody
to
in there,
do.
you might have throw, what was his name? Leon Smith in there too then.
Whoa.
Deion Smith. Whoa, another King product.
Yeah.
Hey, I tell you, quiet and shout out to Pat
LV.
School. Shout out to Pat School, Derek Patterson, Dunbar.
Yeah.
Derek
Hey.
was a monster.
Derek Patterson blocked my shot with his armpit and started to break.
A few times. A few times.
He blocked it a few times.
Listen,
I ain't never been in a game where he blocked
trying to get
all
that
our
foot
shots.
over his head. It was impossible.
You couldn't
That's
get
how
over.
high he was jumping out the
That
gym.
boy could jump out the gym at 6'9", man. He was ridiculous.
He blocked somebody's shot on the backboard twice and pinned it.
Put George Mikan on that list. Fuck it.
Damn, I forgot about Big George.
He was the Shaq. He was the Shaq of the 50s.
Glasses and all. Emeka Okafor? Young?
No.
Would rather.
And it's Jaleel Okafor. Not a
Philly and fight.
It's Jaleel.
Right.
Jaleel. Who's Emeka Okafor?
He
played for Connecticut. African boy.
Yeah.
Chicago probably can, but for the bigs, we probably got the laziest bigs.
Right.
The all sleepy team.
But I thought Jaleel was gonna make it, man. I thought Jaleel was tough.
I didn't.
You know what?
I did.
If Jaleel would have played like in the 90s, like earlier, the game was already like getting away from bigs by the time he came in the league.
It wasn't that, man. It was this. He got into the league and just went nuts, bro.
Yeah, but that's when really wasn't no bigs. He really didn't have no. He was a mismatch. I mean, he couldn't guard anybody.
Didn't he go to Young?
Yeah, he went to,
Yep.
How the hell is it up here if he was when he Young?
He got to the league, got that money,
It
and
really
was doing all stuff. And bro,
it was really no place for him though, man.
Like,
Like
he no money in the league. He didn't even play.
what you mean he didn't make no money?
There was no-
Man, you
no-
go to the league. You from what you had to what he had. He was in the clubs every night, bro.
Yeah, he was a number 2 pick overall. He had money.
Nigga, he went to the Green Dolphin every night. $20 to get in the motherfucker.
No, not the clubs here.
I love the Green Dolphin.
Right.
He was up in Philly.
I had good nights at the Green Dolphin.
I met a nice little friend at the Green Dolphin.
I got kicked out of the Green Dolphin one night, man.
He was going to Jaguars and on Dixie Highway and shit.
Now, we know DY, you was up in the generator.
Oh, come on, man.
Come on, dude.
Come on.
on. He working on his DJ craft. Yeah, right.
Wow, man. Real classy, man. Real
He
classy.
don't bother nobody, man.
Always
He
gotta have one. Always gotta have one guy. There's always that one dude. Way to go, Ben.
And you cleaned up the champagne room at the Blue Oyster.
Damn.
What?
From
Now, why'd you let this DY? Why'd you let that secret out?
So you
talking about from the police academy?
That was a secret, DY. You let that out.
you tag teaming?
Put DY on the list for letting that secret out, man. DY.
Because Ben,
He gonna need another sheet of paper.
You know, D-Way, I got your name wrote down here 6 times already.
Well,
So,
get ready for 6 more.
All right, man. We got about 13 minutes left, man. It's been a packed show. I'll go back to the NFL and say, what would be, in your eyes, is the biggest thing to happen out of these things? I saw this. Greeny was talking about it, and I thought it was kind of interesting. What would be the biggest steal if this happens? The Patriots get T. Higgins. The Giants draft Cam Ward. The Bears hire Marcus Freeman. The Raiders hire Bill Belichick, or the Cowboys hire Deion Sanders.
You mean like most shocking? Like,
Yeah. Most shocking.
For me, Bears hired Marcus Freeman.
Yeah, Freeman leaving Notre Dame.
Nah, not leaving Notre Dame. Just he ain't ready for no NFL job.
Right.
he ain't ready to walk away from $9 million.
Because he ain't gonna get $9 million coming here.
Damn sure ain't.
If I was him, I would take one interview, and Notre Dame gonna come back and open up the vault for him.
They did. They just did. That's what happened.
He just got.
That's what happened. That's what happened. There was rumors that his name came out. Then hats off to his agent.
And Notre Dame
hats off to his agent.
They folded like a laundry towel, huh?
Not even. They folded like a wet towel, bro. It was, dude. It collapsed. It was as soon as his name came out, next day. Notre Dame extension. I think it's through 29, 30, through 30, I want to say, and $9 million a year. $9 million a year.
So Notre Dame ran like Pat's hairline.
Wow.
I don't have a headline.
Wow.
It ran away in 1989.
That was totally unnecessary.
That's all right.
I'm just as shocked as you, Pat.
Gratuitous violence.
We still got a few more minutes for me to make that list again.
Well, I'm trying to make all y'all lists. How about that?
I expect T. Higgins to the Patriots. I expect that. The Patriots got 130-something million. So, and that makes sense to give Drake May a weapon like that.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. I think you're right.
T. Higgins somewhere else.
Yeah, Marcus Freeman to the Bears would be the craziest.
Yeah, that would be the craziest. Yeah.
Not $9 million. God forbid he wins that.
Especially
chip.
if they win.
Yeah, $9 million. He's gonna command at least $9 million. And Bears.
Yeah, I just don't see him being ready for an NFL job.
Yeah, I agree. I think so.
Yeah, out of all those, yeah, that got to be it. That definitely got to be Freeman, Chicago.
Are the Bears still gonna try to pull it after this game on Monday night and see, or they just gonna say, let's move past this one?
No, he just said he did an interview. I think it was yesterday. I read this that he hadn't been thinking about no Chicago Bears job. He's not leaving. I mean, it's for Chicago's so dumb for even. Number one, for interviewing 15 different candidates. Number two, for thinking that they could draw this kid out of the best coaching job that he not even experienced enough to go to the NFL.
Right.
And third, for asking the Pittsburgh Steelers about Tomlin. I mean, granted, some people appreciate the effort because they at least gave it a try. But at this point in time, you done had 15 people come into your build or 15 people you interview, and now we doing this dumb shit. Like, let's leave all the dumb shit aside. You done interviewed everybody. Let's move on to the second round of interviews and get this shit figured out.
It looked like they got to use up all their Zoom minutes, so they just interviewing everybody.
Well,
yeah,
I don't like
they just interviewing.
You're right, D.Y. Some of the moves they've just been making just makes it seem like they actually gonna screw this coaching job up.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with them interviewing people, man. It don't hurt nothing. If they interview two people, everybody gonna say they didn't even give him a chance, or they didn't give him look. Leave no stones unturned.
What was the point of interviewing Thomas Brown?
You gotta still give him
you had to give him an interview.
Right.
No, Rooney don't count with Thomas Brown. He's already
in the building.
With Thomas Brown.
It ain't even about the Rooney Rule, man. You got to get a man at least an interview.
Why?
He deserved it.
He was the interim. He's the interim coach, so he does deserve to get it.
He deserved a head coaching interview.
Yeah. For what he did, all he took over.
He was the passing game coordinator
5 weeks ago.
I hear you.
But
he beat the Packers.
He was good enough. He was good enough to move him to head coach. He deserved
that part right there, Luck. That part right there. In Green Bay. In Green Bay.
That was our Super Bowl.
It ain't too
you want to know something funny?
D.Y.
Want to know something really funny? Green Bay lost to all the division rivals at Lambeau this year.
Oh wow!
They were 1-5 in division, wasn't
they?
They
lost
all.
Yes, they were. All the home games in the division.
On that block field goal, they should have been 0-6.
And they still kissed their cousins in Green Bay.
Right.
In the mouth.
Now, with the fact that they can't bring in Ben Johnson for round 2 until they lose, you had this whole day and a half with McCarthy. Now we got other teams that's trying to get McCarthy as well.
I think New Orleans is the only other interview he got set up, ain't it?
Right.
Yeah.
And New Orleans is coming hot.
Yeah, so New Orleans ain't got nothing to offer.
So here's what happened.
They in cap hell. They ain't got no quarterback. They messed up.
Here's what happens in those interviews. Your top candidates, you have a quote unquote standing agreement or a handshake agreement that you're going to bring that individual back in for a more formal interview. It's already known business. So if I got 3 candidates, obviously if any one of those other candidates that came in for interviews, which is the reason why I don't understand why they interview so many, take jobs, as long as your top 3 candidates have not taken them, and even if one of them do take a job, you still got the other 2 to choose from. So I think they still have those standing agreements with a Ben Johnson, with a Aaron Glenn, with whomever else that may still be, a Todd Monken or somebody like that. So obviously they know that they won't be able to hire their coach unless he's available until
They
after
lose.
the Super Bowl.
Well, they
That's
can't
why
until they lose.
that's why the Lions need to lose so we can get all this stuff squared away.
Right.
That's
It's a two-man race to me.
Yes.
Hey,
Without a question. Ben Johnson, Mike McCarthy. That's all I can see.
I think there might be. I think they're probably
at a
adding.
retirement party, man. I'll see y'all
Musket
later.
might be in there.
I think they added so many people, interviewed so many people because they just didn't want it to be long standing. So what if they only interviewed 6 people, and now we're just waiting?
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? At least they got something to talk about. People like us talk about and all over. Oh, they're interviewing too many people. Well, they're just kind of drawing it out, just to kind of kill time. I think. And I think you might be right. It looks like it's, according to many reports, it's a 2-man race, and that's fine.
I mean, they flew McCarthy in on a private jet.
Yeah. Bears don't do that.
Took him to the steakhouse.
Right, and then they were saying that
and had breakfast and brunch with him.
They were saying that Kevin Warren and McCaskey want McCarthy.
They said they wanted somebody with experience.
Veteran coach, yeah.
What's the name?
Poles
wants Johnson.
Johnson.
Either way, listen, people gonna put him down. If Johnson is a flop, come here and he a flop, we could have had McCarthy.
I know,
or vice versa.
I know we haven't talked about this on the show, but did anybody read the Kalen article?
I heard it. I didn't read.
Caitlin Clark.
No, Kaler.
No. What publication?
The article she wrote about the NFL cracking down on these teams and these agents, like hiring, people within their agency for multiple, like they talked about Trace Armstrong. Yeah. Go read that article.
Where's it at? The Athletic, the ESPN?
ESPN, I believe.
I gotta check it out.
Kaler. Okay.
Well, yeah, I heard the Bears not hiring no more Trace Armstrong candidates.
Well, it still remains to be seen because they interviewed Joe Brady and he a Trace Armstrong guy. Yeah. So, but read it's a lengthy article, but it is very much worth to read. It just basically talks about how the dysfunction spills from these large agencies or these agents hiring coaches and GMs and hiring and keeping all of their people in-house like as package deals. Like, okay, I'm hiring the GM, but I got it. This is essentially how we ended up with Eberflus.
Right, Poles and Eberflus are both on the Trace Armstrong.
And the two coaches that we had, the last 2 coaches that we had here in Chicago, all came from the same agent.
Yep. Well, hell, who ain't Trace client? He got the whole damn NFL, don't
he? He does.
He got a lot.
We got 2 minutes left, man. So since we got such a short time, Lefty, give us our parting shots, man.
Oh, man, thanks for tuning in again, everybody, man. Appreciate you coming on, TB. I know you'll be back. Great games today. Come on out, man. Eduardo Lamons, we'll be here checking out the games, man. Have a smoke with us. Talk a little shit. Glad Capricorn season is over. Just about. We got a couple more days and it's over, but I'll celebrate in time.
Thank God.
And hey, man, shout out to everybody, man. Just keep tuning in. We got more to come. More good shit coming up, man. Check us out. Hey, 10-year anniversary, June 20th, 21st. SmokeFellas D League, 10-year anniversary, man. Details coming soon.
We got the blackout coming up.
Yeah, so. Blackout March. Yep. March 21st.
All right, fellas. It's been a good ride. Thank you, Mr. Gotabody. Appreciate you stepping in while KDL is under suspension.
Or a mad dog.
Right. or up under some dog.
Come on, man. Come on. Well, as I always say at the end of every show, where there's smoke,
There's the
Fellas.
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 yes, sir. We'll check y'all out next week, man.